We discussed about DD, discernment and dispassion, and at the same time, opposite of this is the duality and a delusion. As long as we have a delusion in our life, the mind is not going to rest. You practice meditation even for 10 hours, it will not work. I think it has been now the fifth year I've been coaching this woman who is little older than me, have 4 kids. So she was always reactive. She used to feel bad living in relationship. They are living independently, more or less. They all are settled. Day before yesterday, let's see if say her name is Michelle. What she has written indicates the transformation in her life. If any situation, people, relations, I feel they are tough on me, react to me, you get stressed and suffer. It is caused by the 3 gunas that we discussed last week. If you are able to drop it, even though it is not so easy, but if you do it, you are totally a new person. You are a transformed person. So I'm reading whatever she has written to me. And it was just the opposite. Just few months ago. When it comes to my kids, I have done my duty and more. I finally realized that I feel good thinking that way. So the dispassion and discernment is this quality. Your relations is doing something and an outer situation is dictating me. How can you see your mind is pure? They have their own life if they need me. Now see, this is the beauty of this journey. They have their own life if they need me or anything from me. I'm here for them. But I'm not dictated by them. Whatever they are doing, let them do it. I really have stopped thinking about the things, thinking that they should be a certain way. Because she was totally obsessed why my first son is not doing like this, why my second son is not paying a respect to me. You see, these are the egoistic attitude that comes to the mind. Those people are not affecting you, but I am getting dictated by them. It is because of the 3 gunas. And I feel good because I am just saying it. I am feeling it. So I wrote about one of his sons. He said, who is he? Whenever he comes to my house, I will take care of him. My mind is totally free out of it. I must understand our relationship. As long as he is happy and living his life, I am good with it. Someday when he wants to be back in my life, I will always be here for them. That indicates a sense of calmness pervading in all the situation, in all the relationship in our life. Once we reach to that state of the mind, it means the mind is pure. Mind is pure. You are not dictated by it. You are not influenced by it. All kinds of divorce and fight and this and that. It all happens because of the 3 gunas. I don't recognize it. We are happy just for 2-3 hours of attending the session and then we forget. Why we forget? Because forgetfulness means the mind is busy in the impulsive, instinctive, habitual pattern in my life. Forgetfulness is this. Forgetfulness is ignorance. Forgetfulness means, I have already a sense of attachment, a reaction in my life. That way, the journey will never be complete. Remember, my friends, our calendar is always full of appointments, and mostly they are fulfilled by stress or some sort of anxiety. Why don't you put in your calendar, let me have 1 hour daily I will devote to myself for the journey of this self. I don't have time. I'm busy. Why I'm busy? It is because of the Rajoguna. It is because of the Rajoguna. I have no time to think about myself, to contemplate about myself. I have lot of thoughts pertaining to the world outside of the relations. And then obviously the mind has to live in stress. There is no way out. There is no way out. You cannot get rid of it. I told you the story of my AC broke down. So I got a call that, I'm ready to come at 8. I said, I have a very urgent appointment on Thursday, last Thursday. Can you come at 9:30? I had to give you a lesson. I'm not interested. But what happens, because the AC broke down, it's too much of heat, my mind gets emotional. Okay, then I will take the session. Let me cancel the session. Why? But what we do, we cancel. We don't join the session. We are more interested in managing our stress, and this stress is not managed. Again, I'm returning. It is because of the 3 gunas. The Rajoguna and the Tamoguna is dominating my life. And as long as this is dominating, the change will not take place. Desire for a wealth. Wealth is not there at present. I have to plan, project the benefit. I have to work hard. My mind has to go out to earn that wealth. Now, desire to know the real self, I have to start thinking in my mind. You need not to go outside. When your mind is clear, it is easy for you. When the mind is pure, it is easy for you. When the mind is impure, it is habitual. We have emotional dependence. We constantly think of with intellectual immaturity, the work of this journey of the self-discovery will not be done. Our masters are saying it is just like a think of a court case. So there is a prosecutor and there is a defender. So they put their argument, plus they put their evidences. So you are in stress. You have to use your mind both as a defender and also as a prosecutor. I'm in stress. Give me 3 benefits of stress. I don't think that way. Because I don't think that way, so the stress takes over. Give any 3 arguments of crime. There is no 3 benefits. Give me 1 benefit. So what is happening because of the ignorance? Impurities takes over, and that impurity builds that ego. That ego lives on the Rajo and Tamoguna, and that it said, no, I'm in stress. Don't talk to me now. Why shouldn't I talk to you? You see, we have a totally different attitude. And if we do not change this mind, how to change the mind? Desire to know the real self. Introduce there. Be a prosecutor. So when you do not find any benefit of crying, any benefit of reaction, any benefit of the stress in your life, So this is what the contemplation is. So when you contemplate and reflect on, oh, there is no benefit at all. Why should I worry? So based on the evidences, I'm not telling you to believe. I don't tell you that you have to follow blindly. Eastern wisdom is very logical, very rational. Oh, by understanding intellectually, I can awaken to myself. Yes, that is the approach. That is the basic approach. So you see, if you compare, there is a subject matter, say the defender, argument and evidences, prosecutor, argument and evidence. That is what I'm talking about. And then decision is based on comparison of both. Comparison of both the parties. And the fifth one, based on the law, the judge announced the punishment. So based on the principles of Eastern wisdom, we start living our life. I believe you're getting it. So simple. Whenever I'm carried away by emotions and reactions and anxiety and hatred and likes and dislikes, I am in the state of indecision. And that indecision causes a lot of problems in my life and pain in my life. I'm simply asking you to follow rationally. Where is the problem? But remember, the seed does not become a tree overnight. You have to apply this knowledge again and again. 24 hours of our life is a great opportunity to apply these principles in your life. Where is the problem? The problem is that I'm not interested 100%. Whether Eastern wisdom says you are scared of the death, it helps you to understand the death. It removes all the doubt. You practice, you move into a higher level of awareness, and at a higher level of awareness, there is no death. Death of the body will definitely be there. It has to follow the universal law, but you don't have a fear of the death. That is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. You are caught in ignorance. What is the solution? Let me move into the knowledge. So that is what we are learning, all the principles. So we need to think. I'm telling you that to earn money, even if I have to go to your place, I have to drive the car. It demands an effort. So desire to earn, desire to have something from the world demands an action and effort. Desire to know the real self, I have to restart my contemplation. This guy is crazy. I don't want to meet this guy. Now see, can you restart thinking? What I have to do, even if he's crazy, let him be crazy. If he comes before me, I will respect him. I will meet him. Are you getting it? So simple, but yet it is a challenging because I forget it. I forget in the moment of hatred. I forget in the moment of reaction. My emotional dependence on the world outside becomes so heavy that I cannot think. So because of the non-thinking, I hate my mom, I hate my dad, I react to this guy, I react to that guy. I'm into anxiety, I'm into stress. I'm into duality and a conflict. You don't know. My dad is so crazy. That is why he gave birth to you. Very. You should not have given birth. I don't think that way. So I remember the contribution my dad has done to my life. Oh, they have given me a human life to think. Thank you. That is the greatest contribution you have done. And then see the state of the mind. Unless I change the Raju and the Tamu Guna to the Sato Guna by thinking, I'm simply saying you start thinking in that. And see what happens. I don't have time. You don't know how much busy I am. Raju Guna. You see the pointers, the models the Eastern wisdom has developed. It hits your ego, it hits your reaction, it hits your anxiety. I'm not ready, intellectual paralysis. I've used those words, They'll give a label, oh, my intellect is paralyzed now. Let me restart thinking. Life will change. This woman, she's little older than me. She used to get upset, they invited me to the party and I was pissed off there. After all, they should have respect me. Now she says, I don't need anything from them, but I'm ready to contribute whenever they want my support as a mother. I'm always ready. So what happened? Your mind is clear. You're not seeking anything. That kind of a transformation should take place. That will help you to awaken to that reality. Until that happens, the mind will constantly veil the real self through the ignorance. It will not happen. I was so happy when I received the mail a couple of days. I said, this is what it is. So in the end, she says, no, I will continue the journey. So what happens? There is an inner inspiration and a motivation. How we are inspired. We wake up in the morning. By good luck, by the grace of the existence, you wake up around 3 in the morning. Oh, then what will happen to my job? Let me sleep more. You are given an opportunity by an existence to practice meditation, to start contemplation and reflection. No, I don't have time. If I don't sleep 7 hours, it will cause any problem. I can tell you there are millions of the thoughts that takes me to the ignorance. And it is because of the 3 gunas that builds our ego. Do not simply believe it, but discover it. My master used to say, my Guruji used to say that we believe if you hear and if you read, anything can happen on the Google, Oh, this beer guy is the craziest guy and he has done this thing. You will stop attending the session. You will believe instantly what is bad about others and what is bad about myself. What is bad about yourself, you will instantly believe. And I've been saying you are the real self, okay, I understand that. You are peace. Oh, no, I understand that. But I have a lot of stress. That state of the mind must change. We know, a little headache. Doctor says, I'm not able to find out the cause of the headache. And then I become sad. Now we will go for MRI. We will go for these examinations. Then I'm sad until the report comes. That mindset is because of the ignorance. That mindset is because of the ego. That mindset is because of the Raju and Tamoga. So I'm waiting in sadness what will happen when the report will come. And my mind imagines if I have, I don't want to say that. If I have, you might have experienced that in your life. Not only about the disease and the illnesses, my mind reacted to my son. Son, you have to do this. And now my mind started imagining. I have sad reacted, what he will do. He will leave the house, or he will talk to me, or he will. Why I have started thinking like this? Understand, the area of the ego start, it takes the help of the negative emotions, it takes the help of uh, the negative intellect. This is what my intellect is paralyzed. I'm not able to think. And what I'm able to think, that is a non-thinking. What is non-thinking? Negative emotions. What is non-thinking? That you are responsible for my sorrow and happiness. It's totally a negative thinking. It does not exist. And everything is happening because of this ego. The honey said you something and I'm upset. So after I upset, I lie down on the bed and then I have an imagination that we both have divorced couple of times. So that multiplies those emotions and reactions, and then I'm ready. What I'm ready? I'm ready to suffer. This is the problem with the ego. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, you have to contemplate and reflect. I have given you an example of the court. You have both the arguments. One set of arguments I'm offering you, prosecutor. You defend your argument. Can you defend your argument that the other is responsible for your stress and suffering? If you don't allow your mind to enter those thoughts from the world outside, from a people and relationship, the prosecutor is a winner. We don't do this. We don't have time. We are fully busy. I've told you, we are lazy. The journey of this Eastern wisdom cannot succeed if we are lazy. So again, understand, I'm saying desire to discover the real self means I should start thinking. I should get rid of non-thinking. The moment I start thinking, I move into the discernment. After the discernment, what happens? The dispassion comes, which is natural. This is what this woman has written to me. I go the opposite way. When I see the transformation has taken place, I reduce my prices for private lessons. I know I'll be having this lesson. That gives me a satisfaction, a joy. Then I'm able to pass that knowledge to a single person who is transforming. There was a patient named Mike. And the doctor name is Michael. Mike was in an operation theater. You see what happens to the mind, I'm explaining you. Why we have a sense of anxiety and duality and a conflict, why we feel I'm tired all the time. Mike was in an operation theater. Michael is a doctor. Michael entered into the operation theater to do the surgery. So Michael was saying, don't worry, everything will be all right. Don't worry, Michael. Michael is the name of the doctor. And Mike was the patient. So Mike heard it and Mike said, my name is Mike. And what he's saying, oh, no worries, Michael, everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. No worries. When the doctor repeated, telling about his name, Mike said, why don't you understand? My name is Mike. Doctor said, I know it. I'm consoling myself because this is my first surgery. I get too much obsessed with myself when I have a big ego. I'm not able to loosen that grip of the ego. Think. I'm not saying believe it. You have to think and contemplate. When I'm obsessed, when I have an emotional dependence, when I have an anxiety and duality and a conflict in my mind that continues, that ego says, no worries, I will handle it, like the doctor. Doctor is addressing to himself, don't worry, Michael, everything will be all right, because he has all those emotions of fear and anxiety because this is his first surgery. He's not consoled. He forget to console and relax his patient. This is what happens in our day-to-day life. Whenever you are in anxiety, whenever you reacted, whenever your mind offers you an opposing argument about the situation outside, the condition outside, the relations outside, it is because of this ego. But behind that ego, we have already discussed likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow, the the hatred and the jealousy, they all live and grow and we nurture. It is nurtured by these three gunas, and the three gunas together represents the I thought. That is the false I. Journey of the Eastern wisdom is to understand this false I. Understanding the false I will drop the false I. And practice will empty your mind from the past impression. That results into awakening. But if those impressions keeps on continuing, there is no way. There is no way. Think of this. Think of this. Again, I'm saying seed does not become a tree overnight. The knowledge is realized in stages. I understand it intellectually, but if I do not translate that knowledge into my lifestyle, what is lifestyle? Lifestyle has two components, the attitude inside, the mind, and behavior outside. How the behavior is expressed by the thought, speech, and action. Attitude, mental attitude. Attitude inside. I have an attitude of reaction against you guys, what will happen in my behavior, thought, and action. From where that attitude has come. It has its root in ignorance. What is ignorance? In simple way, it is non-thinking. I don't think. So when I don't think, what happens? The likes and dislikes. By default, likes and dislike comes. Can you tell me if you like red color, why you like red color? You cannot give any reason. Why the second guy likes yellow color? There is no reason. So there is no reason. There is no argument. It comes from the ignorance. I like you because you meet my expectations. My expectations cannot be met all the time by anyone in the world. So I recognize it, I become free. This is what this mother of the four kids has done. It took almost 4 years. Seed is, I told you, seed does not become a tree overnight. I talked to her and I said, this is what I have been saying. Very first few sessions, she wrote to me earlier last year that I always thought that you are a very crazy guy. You said there is a peace and happiness are your essential nature. I never believed it. I had a lot of doubts. And after a year, she said that now I confirm. I understand really that peace and happiness are my essential nature. And then the transformation took place. I need not to give her a certification. This is to certify that Michelle has awakened. You know by yourself. You know your life has changed. And you share your experiences. That is the journey of the Eastern wisdom we are undertaking, my friends. I hope the things are becoming clearer and clearer. Let us close your eyes and start our journey. Eyes are closed and eyes are closed. Body is comfortable. When the body is comfortable, you know there is no stress and struggle. I have been saying this again and again. You recognize that, my friends. So we are in an advanced journey. So you are comfortable. Now you are carefree also. I need not to explain what it means by being, even though I will explain in the future following sessions to remind you. So just to remind you that believing that I know, you know it. Okay. And now we directly move into the mantra, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. A higher seeker, the moment I chant the mantra, you get the feel of it. How the intellect reflects on it. May there be happiness for all. What it means. May there be happiness for all. Your mind flashes to happiness is the nature of all the living species. Everyone is searching peace and happiness. So even if one is angry over me, reacted to me, they are searching peace and happiness through anger because I'm a seeker. I don't have a luxury to do it. You see the thinking pattern? Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Why I am saying? Because I recognize the entity that is pure consciousness of the nature of peace is present in everything and anything of this entire cosmos. So those who react, they do not know they are searching peace out of reacting, entering into anxiety and stress, which is not possible. Should I also do the same thing? Give any argument against it? You don't know, I have been in stress since my birth. You are making your life crazy. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. I have discussed in detail. Can your mind flash the sense of incompleteness? Withdraws the mind inside, sense of incompleteness. You have millions of desires, fully busy, ready to react, enter into the anxiety. I'm summarizing that. Simple way. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam. You all are advanced seekers, Auspiciousness. How do I discover that sense of auspiciousness in my life? I wake up in the morning, give a surprise to the mind, thank existence that I'm alive today also. I don't know what could have happened when I was totally unconscious. So let me support the existence to support myself. It's a mental attitude, I'm saying you. If you do not change your lifestyle, nothing is going to happen. You have to change it. Instead of blaming and complaining and reacting. And now this is another way to purify the mind by contemplation and reflection. It's a passive process. This is a higher step than the breathing. Breathing is temporary, but we will continue with that, looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Pick a point in the space. Very good. And then there you drop Om Shanti, but you should know why you are doing Om Shanti. Om is the real self and Shanti is the peace. And at the same time, you start breathing quick and short breath through the nostrils into the rib cage. Body remain in the state of steadiness. You are fully. It happens because of your awareness. And continue the journey. Is it okay? So because of the mantra we chanted, it boosts your motivation. You have an intense desire in your intellect, and that helps you to do the breathing without any reaction. Do you see how I design these steps? Continue. Just you are enjoying as if you are enjoying. Continue. Continue breathing into the rib cage. Check the rib expand and contract. At the same time, the entire body remains steady. Om Shanti continues to be dropped deep inside the forehead in the space at a point. Continue, quick and short breath, and also recognize the objections and the reactions by the mind on a given day. It doesn't want to do. On a second day, it always likes to do more and more. And stop it. Do nothing. If I say you have to do a lot of things just after moving the mind, moving the breath to a normal pattern, recognize any objections, resistance that took place while you were breathing, accept the changes that is happening. And third point, move the mind on the movement of the breath through both the nostrils. You are recognizing how the mind responded to the practice. You feel good and bad, it doesn't matter. How do you recognize? You check the flow of the breath from both the nostrils. If they are equal, you are there. You see how we are entering into an unknown territory? I told you it's purely 100% I can explain each and every concept. How? Because of the teachings of those masters. Look again, Om Shanti, inside the forehead and start breathing from the belly. Little longer in the hissing breath. Expansion and contraction of the belly continues. Remember, there will be a little expansion of the rib cage, but your awareness and attention is focused on the belly. Om Shanti deep inside the forehead. Body remain in the state of steadiness. Continue, my friends. It's a longer breath than the chest breathing because the lower lobes of the lungs are bigger, larger than the upper lobes. See the logic? And that we learn from the Eastern wisdom. Science came much later, just hardly 250 years. Continue the long hissing breath from the belly. Om Shanti continues. And in the state of steadiness in the body, now stop it. You are aware of the changes. You also know if the mind offered any resistance because of the past impressions already present there. But now you go and look at the flow of the breath. And there is a way. Say, for example, if the right flow is more than the left flow, you keep your attention at the opening of the left nostril. That is all. What is going to happen? Both the flow will become equal. Sometimes it takes few minutes, sometimes we are just learning. It is an early stage, and then we will take this step to a deeper level, where you will recognize just by paying attention on a particular nostril, you can change the flow. What is going to happen? You have already entered into an unknown territory. You know to bring about a change in your mind. So that will be a deeper and a higher meditation journey, looking inside the forehead again. Shanti continues, my friends, and then start breathing both from the belly and the rib cage. Long, deep in the hissing breath. Long, deep. Both. You should be aware of expansion of the belly and the rib cage in one breath, and so the contraction of the belly and the rib cage in another breath. Beautiful. Continue. And stop this. You see, every session you attend or you follow the practice by the audio file I send, every time the mind will behave differently. So I need not to worry about it. I simply recognize the objections and the reactions and the changes taking place, then take my mind on the flow of the breath. I believe you all are understanding what I mean by the flow of the breath. You can easily recognize the flow of the air flow from one nostril may vary from the other. So the first recognition that which flow is more. We need not to pay attention. We move our mind and pay attention to the flow which has a less, means more air is going on. Science has already proved. I may talk about it later. A lot of research papers were done, and it is directly related to the brain. Right flow, right hemisphere of the brain. Left flow, the left hemisphere of the brain. We will talk about it later. But first, you should experience. So you are paying attention to the flow, which is less. So you will find out, you will discover that it is easy to make the flow equal. So we will extend that period in the sessions to come. And Now is the time to go to the triangle. Visualize the triangle of any color inside the cave of your heart. Why I'm stimulating your mind? Visualize any color. Your mind will bring mostly what the color you like, or just out of non thinking, it picks up the color. Both way it is okay. And then what you do, you move the mind on the triangle, equilateral triangle, pointing upward, dropping Om Shanti, moving the mind on each side. And you are now observer. As an observer, you are looking for syncing. What is syncing? Movement of the mind, the side of the triangle, and the Om Shanti. So once you find that sync, moving the mind in a clockwise and anti-clockwise, what do you find in thinking? As if the world is too far from me. And that is the right moment. You push the mind singing mentally deep inside the cave of the heart. Again, you are aware, mind seemingly stops. Stay shanti, do nothing. So it's a conscious self absorption. You are fully aware that ego, the false I, is absorbed. Real I cannot be. That is what I'm pointing out. You may also experience the objection created by the mind because of the impressions already present. How it observes. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes the mind starts wandering to a thought and we create a chain of the thoughts. We remember, we recollect and return again. It's okay. It's a part of the journey. We need not to worry about it. I don't want to interfere, but I speak so that you become aware if the mind has gone somewhere. And now leave this Om Shanti Japa. Again, I'm explaining it is not moving the thumb physically on 16 segments. It is the mind. It is the sense organ in the mind is doing everything. You're saying Om Shanti by looking through the mind's eye, speaking through the mind's tongue, means the tongue is not moved. Hearing from the mind's eye, mind's ear, Om Shanti. And you need not to be in a hurry. You check all the mind senses are functioning. If that is so, you will experience a tremendous vibrations or sensations on those 16 segments. One indication. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it on your eyes. Know your experiences. Open your eyes. Bring the hands down. Open your eyes. You want to share your experiences, Christina, before you leave? Okay, no issue. She has to leave early. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Thank you very much. The last several lessons has been a huge reminder of the importance of leaning into the principles of the Eastern wisdom, of listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, discernment, dispassion, and I focused in on that obviously right immediately after our lesson on Monday. And I've taken it a little bit further because the listening and learning, as I know, it references to the teacher. I've used it in addressing everybody else around me, every situation, and making sure I'm listening and learning from what people are saying and what they're doing,
Yeah.
and not as an education perspective, but how it applies to the journey that I'm on. And
Yeah.
it has been extremely helpful in being able to recognize and separate and how to apply it to myself. So it's been a good week from that perspective. The and it led into this meditation today that was a little bit different. Even before you said check the flow, for whatever reason, I was focused on checking the flow. And it was balanced throughout my entire meditation. I kept coming back to that. So that was a good thing. The fast breathing, something was different today when I started that, and what I recognized in it was that I always talk about this expansive space, and what I noticed is that the space always expanded in front of me, but today the space expanded behind me. So it was as if everything was expanding back here and I was sitting at the front of it, which I found to be interesting, but moved on from that. And then as we got to the third breathing technique, I could feel the rhythm of my heart. And it was just such a focus. And then you said go to the triangle, and it just, my temperature started going up. I could feel and almost hear my heart beating as it was going, which I found to be extremely interesting. And then, a little bit unknown, so it became scary at a little moment there. And then I checked the balance of my breath, and then got back into it. And what I started to notice is that the space kept getting brighter, and the heartbeat went up, and then the space got dark and the heartbeat subsided, and that went on through the remainder of my meditation. So I had that going on, and then still trying to follow the steps of your voice.
Wonderful. First, the expensive state behind. It is another journey of the mind going within. And you see that what you have been doing is you are in constant contemplation and reflection, even while you are living your personal, professional, and social life. That helps a great deal. So what is happening throughout the week, you have already purified the mind, and then you again attend the lesson. And that is how the entire spectrum of those changes in the experiences you are able to note. That is the way the journey has to be taken. Take care of our friends. You know what I'm talking about. Stephen, take care of our one friend who is missing here. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. Today during the meditation, the mind really tried to take over, so the steps were especially useful, and I just had to keep focused on the steps. So it was a definite active practice today.
Very good. Very good. That's really good. So once even the mind follows every step in itself, that is that should be understood as a great practice. How are you, Dennis?
I'm good, thank you. And I what I noticed today and in the previous sessions is that you're how your talks attack different aspects of our ignorance, and this is what I recognize and what I appreciate. Regarding the practice, what I noticed is that my flow of breathing was, I would say, I would use your term, seemingly equal.
Very good.
As
Good.
I don't have precise measurement instruments to measure the flow, but seemingly equal.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, the mind was calm and absorbed during the meditation.
What is going to happen then is that's a right phrase that you have used. What did you use? That the principles attack our ignorance. So maybe after one or two sessions, I'll pick up another text where you hammer the ignorance. So what I will do first, I will seek the permission of all of you, whether I should hammer your ignorance or not, and then I will continue to teach the text. Otherwise, I will use other texts. Oh, goody, goody, everything is goody, goody. So that is what I want to say. And that is how the Stephen also explained, the way he explained. So he is aware that how to hammer the ignorance while living day to day. Second part is I have to be very clear. You rightly said both the flow are seemingly equal. Means what? You don't recognize the two flow. You all recognize one flow. That state we have to reach by following that stuff. Now that cognition that there are two flow, it is not there. Symbolically, that is the meaning of Sushumna flow. You already know it, the central channel. Aha. We'll talk later. So good. How are you? How are you, Barbara?
My body has dermatitis, but I'm feeling fine.
You're feeling fine? Oh. Body has dermatitis. You don't have it. I don't hear you. You muted. Oh, what happened? Yeah, now we hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. The breathing today for me felt especially good. I felt completely calm, completely peaceful, and it was a great meditation for me.
Very good, Barbara. How are you, Terry? Where is Terry? There is Terry.
I was aware of my what I was doing well and what I was failing to do in the breathing, but I was just aware of it, and I didn't get emotionally involved
Good.
in that observation.
It's a beautiful not to get involved and engage our mind in whatever is happening. We are already into the practice.
Yes. So by the end, it did help me.
It helps you. Yes. No doubt.
Calm down.
Beautiful. You are already calm. Why to calm down?
By the end, I wasn't at the beginning.
You're already calm. So are you, Ashok?
I am good, sir. Peace and calm, and flow in the both nostrils is almost equal, and that is good.
Beautiful. Remember that, and I just spoke early before I should have heard your experiences about the flow of the breath. But now it's okay. It just came out from my mind that you don't see the two flows. So I was keeping that as a secret, but now I exposed it. So you have not to get carried away by that thought. You have to get your experience. Be aware. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, mine was calm. Practice was good. It was easy.
It was easy. The best thing, what is awakening? I can say you are always comfortable and carefree, 24/7. You're not getting a sleep, you're comfortable. You're getting a sleep, you're comfortable. You're talking to someone, you're comfortable. Someone reacts to you, you are still comfortable. Someone marries you, you're comfortable. Someone leaves you, you're comfortable. Is it not an awakening? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. How do you think is that?
सर बहुत पीसफुल था और अभी भी वैसा ही भाव है.
Good. She is very peaceful and calm. She always used to be calm. I have seen her. So remember this. Can you see 24/7 you are comfortable and carefree? And the mind is responding to every event and situation in the world. Okay, can that be known as an awakening? No, we have to think of it. Just giving those thoughts, let us say namaste. We will meet again. Thank you.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you.